A frozen Dublin, but it's not just here that's been put on ice, it's our children's future. As the government continues to play God with all our lives and we face economic destruction, what do you do in a time like this? Well, you could do what Cultch did and ask indie band We Are Scientists questions about cool runnings, space jail, and how to follow a girl off the bus if you want to sleep with her. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Cultch's I Heart Tea Crowd. Now it's a pilot, it's episode 1, so we don't have an awful lot of tea. You have some tea, sir.
I have tea, I brought tea.
But what we miss out in tea, we make up for in genuine rock royalty with Chris from We Are Scientists. Sir, how the devil are you?
I'm very well indeed.
The last time I seen you was, I was very, very shy and embarrassed because you were in Eamon Dorn's back after you played the Ambassador, and I went up to you and I bought you a shot and I thought this was the coolest thing ever.
Oh.
And it was a shot I was drinking at the time. Little did I know it was apparently a girly shot in America.
What was
it? Was Goldschlager. You knocked it back, we were all happy.
Yeah.
But the movie Superbad taught me that when she says it's a girly drink, the Goldschlager vodka. So I'm sorry if I ruined your impression.
It wasn't my first Goldschlager for that matter. I mean, I don't mind a little Goldschlager now and again.
Now and again.
I don't think there's anything girly about drinking precious metals.
Yes. I mean, I was first told that someone says you have to drink this because it slits something in your neck and then it goes in and gets you more drunk. There's a lot of myths about Goldschlager.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That sounds like almost certainly part of the myth category. I can't imagine they would pass
safety.
Health inspections, yeah.
And the fact that it is actual gold is another myth, which again would really pop it up past $3.95 in any
absolutely
dodgy bar. But anyway, so this is the I Heart Tea Crowd, where we try to simulate the tea getting experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to cover as many topics as we can in a brief amount of time. That would happen if we were sitting down for a lengthy cup of tea over like Christmas dinner or something like that. So sir, you are taking part in the debut feature of the Big Tea Inquisition.
It's an honor.
I mean, we may have a jingle for that. If you want to write us a jingle, that'd be lovely as well.
I'll think about it.
And we'll pay.
I'll consider.
So, sir, question 1 in the Big Tea Inquisition. In the movie The Snowman, a snowman comes to life and brings a young boy on a magical trip to London to meet Santa Claus. If you were to build a snowman tonight, because it's snowing, and offered you a magical trip to anywhere of your choice, where would it be and why?
Well, when you're taking a trip with a snowman, of course you're limited to cold locations.
Yeah.
The snowman would, melt and leave you stranded were you to venture to a warm climate. So unfortunately, beach vacation is out. I would probably, maybe somewhere in Russia. I've never been to Russia.
That'd be an interesting kind of dark reboot.
Moscow, maybe. Maybe go to Moscow. I feel like snowmen probably really dig Moscow and could give a good tour.
And would you just hang out with Snowman, or would you just wait till watch him slowly rot?
I mean, well, if he knew, like if we got there and it became apparent that he had no idea what he was doing in Moscow, and furthermore, that, I was being stigmatized for hanging out with an animated snowman, then I would probably ditch him.
Okay.
But if he had sound local knowledge, I would be happy to. I mean, I don't personally hold anything against
snowmen.
I don't know how the Russians feel, I guess.
So Moscow. Right. Anyway, question 2, sir.
Okay.
I had a horrible hangover on Saturday after drinking far too many Red Room cocktails, which is a lovely drink, but heavy on the old stomach.
Yeah.
Being both a famed rocker and a gentleman who enjoys a tipple, what is your hangover advice?
Well, the only hangover cure that is proven to work 100% of the time is to eat your own brains.
Right.
It results in death, however.
So you...
I recommend it when the hangover is bad enough.
If it was a bank holiday weekend and you need to go out on the Sunday night as well as the Saturday night, you would maybe...
Don't eat your brains. You wouldn't be able to go out.
No, that would involve death from...
You'd be dead.
From brain eating.
Exactly.
Huh?
So in that case, I do notice that the only time I ever seem to benefit from eating sort of crappy fast food like McDonald's or Burger King is when I'm really, really hungover. And then it actually seems to have a sort of, I don't know, like resetting effect. Like I've, you know, already damaged my body and then I eat like something that's fairly bad for it.
Yeah, and it kind of feels that you've probably already made a little bit of fool yourself. I made a little bit of fool myself to a girl I thought was rather pretty on Saturday night. So you kind of feel like I've already made mistakes. Let's make another one and get some KFC, kind of. You know what I mean?
And they seem to accumulate into something, you know, somehow less than a mistake.
Yeah. Which is where to move on to. Sir, right. How would you handle speaking of women problems, how would you handle the age-old problem of you fancy a girl on the bus and you're grappling with the fear of crippling rejection, but also the fact that she may be getting off the next stop and you may never see her again? Like, what would you do in that situation?
Let's see. I mean, there's certainly no benefit to be had from staying your hand, as it were. I mean, I guess you fail to become embarrassed, but that's a very short-term benefit. So first of all, you have to go for it. You have to give it your all. As to how to make a not terribly creepy approach.
See, creepiness is the problem with the modern day dating scene.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to kind of just go up to a girl and kind of say, "You have a pretty mouth," without sounding. I mean, have you ever used that in a non-creepy way? You have a pretty mouth.
Well, I intended it in a non-creepy way, but you're right. It was taken with something less than enthusiasm. Yeah. So, you know, you may be right. It may be impossible in that circumstance to really create a natural come on. I guess my advice would be, you gotta decide how infatuated you are with this girl. You decide whether it might be worth following her off the bus stop. Again, potentially very creepy.
Very creepy, yeah. Especially if you follow it up, but you have a pretty mouth when you do catch up with her.
Well, the idea would be to follow her long enough to learn a lot about her, about about her likes and dislikes, who her friends are, where she works, where she lives.
This is a long-term date. This is a long.
Once you know all that about someone, it would be.
And is this a friendship,
simple.
or is this in secret?
Oh, this would be in secret.
Yeah, well, of course.
Because then you're enabled to make a successful approach. I think you'll easily be able to fabricate some kind of common ground, even if one doesn't exist. And you'll say, "Have I seen you at, don't we go to the same, veterinary hospital or whatever?" And she'll be like, "I've never seen you there." And you say, "Yeah, St. Andrew's vet clinic."
You've been secretly drugging her dog, so it gets slightly sick, and then you know that she's going to be at events.
Exactly.
Wow,
That's what it takes.
Who knew that was going to be the answer to that one?
No.
So, a long-term ambition of mine is to write a movie, tentatively titled, called Space Jail. It's a movie set in a jail in space. Now, if I were to offer you the key role of Captain Steve Solutions, a man who's been wrongfully arrested after the death of his wife, would you accept it? And what do you think you could bring to the role?
Well, I would obviously want to see the entire script, but just based on your description, yes, I would accept it. What I think I would bring to the Steve Solutions role is, I can do action, for sure, which I think any actor that you would even approach.
It's going to be like an action romance. It's basically Shawshank meets Independence Day, but with more space.
Gotcha. In this case, then I think I'm definitely the actor for the role. I can do pathos in a way that most action heroes simply cannot.
And would you have a problem being, cast as Keira Knightley? That's who we're looking for the memories of your dead wife.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I've never acted alongside Keira. She's a friend, obviously, but I've never acted with her, and I'd be interested to.
You'd be looking for the challenge of seeing Keira on CG.
Yeah.
So that's a yes. We are filling the casting.
Call it a tentative yes.
Tentative for a tentatively titled film.
Great.
There you go. Okay, Ireland finds itself in a rather bad financial state. Okay, with Christmas coming along, and you being a father yourself, so how would you advise parents who can't afford to get their kids the cool toys, the Buzz Lightyears or Xbox Kinects, if you will?
Right. Well, you know, kids are very easily fooled. I think it's, I mean, at least at my son's age, he's 5. He's still pretty enthusiastic about anything that his parents are enthusiastic about.
Which is following girls off buses and drinking Cultch.
That's a side of my life that I haven't immersed him in yet.
Yeah.
I've involved him a little bit, you know. He's unwittingly become a prop in some of my long-term seductions. But I think that if you were to, you know, bring home a, you know, really oddly shaped rock and, you know, duct tape a stick to it and really sell your kid on it, like really become very enthusiastic about this, you know, object.
You could draw a little face on it. Kids like faces.
They love faces.
I mean,
yeah.
So your advice to the parents of Ireland is to
be creative.
Be creative.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Art attack it.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a phrase you could use to your son on Christmas Day when he opens up a stick with the face of some girl on it.